Okay, everyone, welcome to the inside of the Range Rover Sport 550e autobiography, and we're going to go take this on a drive now. So we'll be using on this drive our navigation system built into the Range Rover, the POV Pro navigation, but of course you can also use Apple CarPlay navigation systems as well if you do want to use that. It's really up to your own preference, and it even has Apple Map integration, so it'll show Apple Maps up there if you do choose to want it, but I'm going to be using the built-in navigation just to see how well it works. Otherwise, of course, we have this plug-in hybrid powertrain here. If we have some EV modes as well, so we can open up our shortcuts and we can see our different drive modes. We have our different drive modes over here. We can go in a little bit more in depth with that. Also, we can put it in EV mode when we do have EV charge, that we were just testing it and kind of ran out of some charge, but otherwise we'd have up to like 50 miles of EV range. Otherwise, for now, it'll operate as a regular hybrid. So I want to open up this screen actually for you guys while we are driving around, just to kind of show what this will look like. And since we're using the built-in navigation system, it's going to energy optimize this vehicle. So if you do it at full charge, it will kind of blend your driving based off of that navigation system. And another really cool function over here, actually, when you use the built-in navigation system is we can see the air quality at our destination, which is something I've never really seen too much. So we'll go to exterior air quality, and since we have it built into this navigation system, we just put in our destination, let this load for a second, and it will show you your air quality at the destination you're going to. So that is really cool. It's the same, but otherwise some cool features we have there. Otherwise, let's head off. Let's demonstrate some of this camera function we have on this vehicle here. So putting it into drive, we have a nice little shifter here for our 8-speed automatic gearbox. Then it's going to open up our full 360-degree view camera systems, and with all Range Rover and Land Rover products, it lets you use it while driving, mainly for off-road purposes, but it's pretty cool just to see the car moving around like that. The wheels turn, the blinkers flash on there as well. It's a full 3D model of the car, which is really cool, and you can even change all your different angles as well. So I can go to like this view, so we can see the side of the wheels really easily and all that fun stuff. And of course, as I mentioned before, we have full parking assist as well, so it'll park in and out next to these spots as well, which is really cool. So lots of wonderful luxury features in our Range Rover Sport plug-in hybrid. And as you can see, this car just drives like butter. We have that really incredibly smooth Ingenium inline 6 under the hood over there, which has just been a fantastic engine in every single JLR product I have driven as of recent, from Jaguar F-Pace over to the Velar and this vehicle, even in the Defender as well. Now with this Range Rover Sport, you really are more so than ever getting a baby full-size Range Rover. They're built on the same platform finally, and you really notice that in the driving experience. We have this really great rear wheel steering in this vehicle here that just works so well in parking lots. It really virtually shortens this wheelbase by so much. You can just keep turning that wheel and you kind of have to readjust how you drive a vehicle when you get in and out of this car, because you just have so much steering angle as well, which is really impressive. But cruising around here, I feel like I'm driving on a cloud. It's incredibly quiet in here, incredible sound insulation all around you. You have that really high commanding driving position you expect out of a Range Rover. You can sit here, have a massage, have your heated or cooled seats on, and just cruise along. And the EV aspect to this really surprised me, just the incredible quietness of this vehicle, and combined with this incredibly smooth and quiet EV system as part of this plug-in hybrid. I'm really excited for the full electric variant of this Range Rover Sport and the full-size Range Rover coming very soon. Have a listen to this. And that really unlocks that 541 horsepower and 590 pound-feet of torque we're getting out of this Range Rover Sport 550e plug-in hybrid. It's a beast. It is a very powerful vehicle. Now, at the end of the day, this is not the most, I would say, dynamic vehicle you can get. Obviously, like a Urus or like a high-end like X5M or X6M, those are going to be way stiffer, way more dynamic in their chassis control. But this is really impressive. And of course, you can get the Range Rover Sport SV. That's going to be your handler of the bunch, but this still handles itself pretty well. We're going to take it around a corner right here, and the air suspension, everything tries to keep that body as stable as it possible, and it does a really great job with it. Same thing with that rear wheel steering. It really helps to turn in quite nicely with this Range Rover Sport. We have a pretty sharp turn over here, a little bit of body roll, but it handles itself well. And then you get that really incredible acceleration. And the good thing about it is the brakes are fantastic as well in this Range Rover Sport. which is going to be needed for this vehicle, as it is both heavy and has quite a bit of power. And even going around these corners, any bump or undulation on the road, it just soaks it up like it doesn't exist. You may feel a little tiny little nudge of something, but it's so well damped out that even harsher bumps in this air suspension, you don't really feel any jittering or anything. They've really refined this air suspension to be so well and perfectly tuned. And out here on the highway cruising, I think this Range Rover Sport does incredibly well. And it's honestly quite efficient, especially in this plug-in hybrid application. I've been seeing when you're in like hybrid mode, MPG numbers climb to the 40s sometimes, which is really impressive. If you're on it a little bit more on the power, you're gonna see it in the 30-ish range, which is totally fine. Even for such a large vehicle, it's pretty impressive power numbers. Now this vehicle does have a adaptive cruise control system over here, though it doesn't have a full hands-free style system that I was honestly expecting out of this car to have, but I just haven't seen Range Rovers do that just as of yet. Hopefully we'll see that down the road, but I think people still want their customers to drive their vehicles, and I think their customers enjoy driving their vehicles, which is nice. But if you do so want to have it in a little more of a customizable, more comfortable sense, you can just activate your adaptive cruise control pretty easily from the right-hand side of the steering wheel, set your speed limit, and you're off to go. It's pretty good distance control. You have a nice amount of settings. We have lane keep assist as well, and I think in some lower speeds it does do a little bit of a traffic jam sort of assist style function where you can kind of relax yourself a little bit in the vehicle. But regardless if you're driving it or just letting the car drive itself, and especially in traffic situations, you're going to get that incredibly quiet, seamless, luxurious feel that you're going to get out of the Range Rover Sport. And in these around town scenarios, the Range Rover Sport it's just simply perfect. Even though it's a massive vehicle, these impressive cameras really help you navigate some tight spots, such as this really narrow section of road here. You can just see if you're gonna hit something by pressing the camera, and you have a little bit of more sense of security on that. But otherwise it's just so smooth. The steering lightens up so well, you can just move it, but the inputs of the steering wheel to the wheels are pretty direct actually, which is quite nice. Even when it does get stiffer, you really do feel that more direct connection we're getting here. I do want to attempt to test out the assisted parking feature here in the Range Rover Sport, that spot of your choosing. So let's find a suitable spot for this Range Rover Sport here. I think next to this Q7 might work just well, so we're going to drive by and see if it finds this space. It did. So now we can choose how we want to park it. We can reverse in or forward in, and since we are actually supposed to park forward in into these spaces, I'm going to press start. Let's see, it says release brakes to start maneuver. If no one's around us, take your hands off the wheel, and we have these really cool purple lines to do this maneuver for us here. Let's see what it does. One thing I have noticed since we have tried this before is it gets a little close to some vehicles around us, but thankfully all the parking sensors and systems kind of prevent that from hitting a vehicle, and you all also have full control of your brakes as well, if you do need to do so. But look at that. That was pretty easy. And while we may not be taking this Range Rover particularly in any harsh off-road scenarios, these roads over here are a little bit bumpy and rough. I just want to see how this air suspension system can handle it. We have some cobblestone roads going uphill here. Let's see how this car can do it. Oh, it just erases the cobblestone roads. So if you guys do live in an area where you have some cobble roads around you, this might be the car for you. It just, wow, this feels like I'm on a regular road, honestly. You can hear it going over the cobblestone, but you don't really feel much whatsoever, which is pretty nice. But what about something a little bit more intense? Okay, let's take it down an obstacle road, I like to call this. And honestly, you know what? We might as well turn on one of our wonderful Range Rover-esque features up here, our off-road cruise control settings. So let's go to our terrain response. We're in auto terrain response. We have our off-road modes, and this is where we have our hill descent control. Let's see how well this works. You really just kind of set your speed and go. We can set it to a little bit of a lower speed, and it's literally using the brakes now to go down said hill pretty easily. It does it quite well. This is full, just straight up cobblestone road here. Very narrow. We can use these cameras here to kind of navigate us around these really tight corners. And even with this air suspension too, it just does it sublimely as well. And even on our heads-up display now, we're in the specific mode. We get a really unique heads-up display mode actually that's showing us our tilt sensors as well as what's happening in front of us underneath the car in a way. So let's kind of do some sensor information things there. And as you can see, my feet are fully off the gas and the brake, and it's just doing this incredible hill descent control function for us right now. It's very, very smooth, very, very reassuring, and we can see what's happening on the sides of our cameras there. We can even go on our on-road cameras here and see what's happening around us in a 360-degree view. But as you can see, this is a road that people have to travel on all the time, and honestly, I would prefer to do this in a Range Rover, especially over a Q5. This is bumpy, rough, and I could not even imagine what this was like to get up and down in the morning this morning when it was snowing. But otherwise, this is handling this perfectly well. Now, this Range Rover Sport 550e autobiography has a wonderful feature on the interior, and that would be this Meridian signature audio system. And wow, I have to say, one of my favorite audio systems I have listened to this year so far. It's incredibly crisp, rich, great sound all around you. It has a great surround sound function, and honestly, it's quite good. So let's pop on our audio test here. Now, of course, we can adjust our volume on our steering wheel or via this scroll knob all the way on the other side of the screen. Okay guys, that was just a quick little test of this Meridian audio system here, but I have to say, over the course of the week in driving this car, it's been great. Just a general all-around good audio system. Is it as insane as some of the 4D audio systems, I would say? And one of those, my favorite ones, is the Barris & Wilkins 4D audio systems that I experienced over in the i7. I think that still has a little bit of an edge over this one, especially in terms of customizability and tuning. But this is good. It's really good. The sound isolation in this Range Rover is so impressive. You really feel like you're in your own concert or theater hall in here. The windows, all of the body panels, everything is great sound insulation in it, and honestly, it sounds really good in here regardless. But yes, everyone, this is of course this only Range Rover Sport, and I have had honestly a wonderful week with this vehicle. A great little pre-Christmas present, if you one may say, but it's just an absolute treat to drive. It's incredibly smooth, incredibly comfortable, incredibly luxurious, and yeah, you just can't go wrong with these next generation or Range Rovers. And you know, even this one, it may not be the most dynamic SUV, like I said, in class, but it has all of that great all-around capability here. And of course, if you want that dynamicism, go for the SV. If you can shell the price tag for it, because it will really shake up what you may think a large Range Rover can possibly do. But yeah, if you guys are really looking for the best plug-in hybrid in the market and it's an SUV, this is definitely something to consider right here. So nonetheless, guys, thank you again for joining me on this video here with the 2025 Range Rover Sport. And as always, stay tuned for more coming in Allcarnews. Cheers.